Hello, my name is the Demolisher 13, and today I will be doing a test run of my self-expanding factory 4.18 point something. There's a lot of hot fixes and whatnot between different versions. I I've been just kind of deleting some of the older versions. In any case, also I'm not dead. I'm still very much alive. I just went silent for a while. That's all. Okay, let's throw this all down. No. Oh, I forgot. Before I get too engrossed, I should mention that my factory here is the self-expanding factory I started about a little over 10 months ago that utilizes the recursive blueprint mod. And that is the only mod that we utilize for this factory, as in base game it is impossible to tell a logistic system to build certain blueprints to actually auto deploy my words are just stuttering all over the board, to auto deploy blueprints altogether. Now, a few of you actually would also like to see what the factory is like the assembly plan and whatnot. Don't worry, while I get the whole thing set up, now would be the best time to show you some of those mechanisms I have in place. So let's see, this is going to be expanding, so then we'll be in our current power plant. So I need you to empty this one out. There was a reason I didn't need like the center code, I just need the further in. So you need to be a power plant. Yeah, that's right. Do, 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 do. So hiccup remnants left over from previous versions, just making sure my fields are cleared. Okay, now those are cleared up. I should be able to build this here. And then while that's getting built, walk over to the side so I'm not getting trapped. That's the power plant. And here's the assembly plant. Give you a basic overview of the assembly plant. On the left we have the refinery system. We have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of 20, so 80 electric furnaces that are unlocked for smelting either copper or iron. 20 that are locked for, or 20 of them are devoted for stone, and 20 of them are devoted to making steel. Then over here we have our whole oil processing system. Everything oil related is done over here. Then over here everything's broken between green chips, red chips, and anything that doesn't use chips just kind of goes down the middle. We'll come back to that once they've had some time to build that. The power plant, nothing too fancy going on here. Just 200 solar panels plus 400 accumulators. And 3 sets of 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's 8, 16, 3 sets of 16 steam engines, and 1, 2, 3, 4, I want to say 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 14 times 2, 28. 28 steam turbines powered by 2 nuclear reactors, my bad. So, power plant's kind of oh yeah, and we have the uranium processing. You're going to be questioning what the frick's going on here. Oh, well, I'll tell you what's going on after they get going. Uh, and ooh, I need to get up here real quick because we'll put you, yeah, put you right here, just so we don't lose our statement. Get rid of you three. You're open, so. Oh, and then the center is the core of the factory. This is pretty much the brain. And a harebrained scheme of wires. So if you don't understand what's going on there, yeah, I don't expect you to. Okay, so let's see. The factory does prioritize imports over locally made goods, but it will use locally made goods. Why do I have it focus on imports? Because if we don't use up the stockpiles the system generates in the whole grid, then they're going to continuously grow and become a waste of resources. It's kind of that simple. And I had to use a bunch of little logic systems like this to dictate when we want to throw stuff on and when do we want to pull stuff off and other little things. Have you got either of you? No? No. Oh no, you got uranium. Actually, there is something I do want to make. A lot of, you can have all my bots. And I think that's on. Where did that all go? Whatever. Don't worry, this is the only time I'm giving a jump start. Blue stuff is quite expensive. It's trying to move me. Okay, so more on it. We have a belt system to move ores around, which don't mind that. That's a small glitch from because these are earlier templates. Yeah, I know, I'm not the most professional person. Oh, and before I forget, here at Logic System, the the oil business isn't going to run until it gets, there you go. Oh, and it needs one more thing. One more thing. So, earlier versions of the factory did utilize a complete logic bot based assembly line. We don't do that anymore. Why? It put too much stress on the logic bots. So what I devised was an entire belt system slash pipe network to move liquids and ores around the base to the nearest, well, ores would get carried off to the nearest assembly plant, where if it's uranium or coal, it just gets shipped off to the active providers, which then get carried off over to the power generators. Having a sorting system in the belt network just wasn't going to happen, so it just gets all shipped off to the assembly plants to be then shipped off somewhere else. And it's a bit complicated. And then if I were to just do 1 second. Pump, 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 pump. Okay. Oh dear. Stop. Stop, 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 stop. I need to drain this now. Frick. It's not like I have ever. It's not like I know how these experiments go. We're not going to get oil anyways, so. Reason being is it takes the factory a while to expand, and the nearest oil field is over here, and the experiment's going to stop long before we reach that. So, I screwed that up. I shouldn't be doing this at 12 o'clock a.m., but this is the first free time I've had all day. So, that's gains power. The failure condition for this plant was met, but thanks to the fact there was no blueprint or no statement. Yeah. Oh, so what's going on over here is the factory is taking, well, at this point it only takes in the low-grade uranium, and all high-grade uranium, well, as you can see, it gets 40 of it gets moved out here. And then after that, it gets put in, while the one gets shipped out over here. So that will just keep going on indefinitely while we're just shipping in more low-grade uranium to keep this cycle repeating indefinitely. And we utilize 2 memory cells. This one, if it ever gets anything, which right now it's got 2 yellow, will stop it from importing more uranium. Where this one just kind of tells it, oh, you got you got a signal, so now you're going to fill this up. Yep, it's filling. And we got our signal, so now we wait. And when this reaches 0 again, it sends another signal and back. These work a bit differently. The first thing we try to burn off is wood, because wood is worthless, at least in the grand scheme of things for factories. Then the rest of these are set to, well, monitor the system. They're kind of waiting for the battery. When A, or battery life, falls below a certain percentage. Oh yeah, wood will only get burned once the battery life is below a certain percentage. Then it will, once the wood runs out, it will then start burning either charcoal, or my bad, not charcoal, coal or rocket fuel or solid fuel. I thought I fixed. Oh, I didn't fix that. I just added it to it because the factory from this point onward won't be making solid fuel because it does immediately. Okay, yeah, that'll be fine. Yeah. Oh yeah, anything that doesn't rely on chips, I just kind of squeezed in anywhere I could find. Uh, the other thing, the main failure condition for this factory will be, well, the factory last I checked had an issue that after so many expansions, it would start to eat, particularly its left part, its whatever cell was to its left, it would start to eat, which confused me, so I had to readjust the expansion script. For some reason, 3.7 never gave me these same issues when it comes to eating. But then again, 3.7 had a much simpler logic system than what I have going on here. Oh my god, so many wires. So many wires. Because right now, the system knows where the nearest factory is. Because the factory, right here, gives off a signal of assembly plants. So, it's currently sending out a signal strength of 9 assembly plants. Then if we go to the next one, and we're sending out 8 assembly plants from the next cell while we're receiving 9. And then if we keep going down, we're sending out 7. So how is it getting progressively weaker? Well, I had to put everything through a system where it took the one signal, converted it into the 4 east, west, south, and whatever, compared them, then picked whatever one was the strongest, and if they were all even, do a different set, yada yada yada. Eventually, once we get our final signal, we subtract 1. This allows me to make it a bit more modular, so if I want to say increase this by 10 or 20, it would do so, rather than what 3.0 did, which was just 1 turns into 2, 2 turns into 4, signal-wise, not actually the same signal. Yeah, I should stop talking about that. What else is there? Oh yeah, we have a copier. The factory has its own little blueprint copier. So actually, anything I needed to do right now to get the factory running, right this instance, is to take this and drop in my trash. And then the factory would start. And at that which point I'm going to zoom out here and speed up the camera for you guys so you could see it actually grow across the ground. The other nice thing about this copier if we have a surplus of blueprints, it will actually munch them. Pretty much destroy any surplus copies and just maintain a certain level. You know, I love this mute button, but I also hate it because everything I just said just didn't get recorded. So, if you're wondering what that whole screen bit was, what's going to happen here with this version is it's going to expand. Eventually, it's going to expand here and then delete this cell. And then the whole system's going to be without power. Now, I have no idea why it's doing that. It might be because I got my wires crossed somewhere along the line. So whenever text nothing is up above it, it might just delete whatever's to its left. But if that were the case, then it would never have gotten up there in the first place. In any case, oh, and then if I were to replace the power plant, all the next cells get messed up, so they will start placing things off center. So power has to be maintained, or else the whole factory gets screwed up. Anyways, I'm going to focus on this one cell for a little while, and then when it's expanded, I will zoom out and you can watch it from afar as it grows for a little while till it ultimately fails. Yay! So what's currently going on is checking each fourth for Well, for ores, really. Just currently checking for uranium. And as the system gets more complete, ores get belted up and onto the system. I had to put a little mechanism here so I would use both sides of the belt. Um, that is something I do plan on changing because when I turn these to red belts, I forgot that red belts were basically 5 times the cost of yellow belts. Uh, so yeah, this is not the most efficient setup. I could get away with this if I was using yellow belts, but the fact that I use red actually really hinders the system from expanding at all. As this is just too much metal sitting around doing nothing. In any regard, we can see that the copper ore is being transferred from one cell to the next, then moving up, as it knows that this isn't it. Then we get to the next cell and know that this is the has a similar value than what we're sending out. So then we move the ores up again. They continue up, go through the belt sorting system, and then just get thrown on. Stone is automatically pulled down its own lane, or if it overflows, it gets pulled over into, yeah. I had to think about overflow for everything, just in case. And yes, these bottom furnaces do get as much as the top. So it's checking this cell, or this quadrant. Yeah, I'll just leave it right here. The the nice thing with the belt system is all that ore is being moved without the need of that many logistic bots transporting it around. So there's a plus. No statements equal 5t. Yes would equal 900. As you can see, we've now moved to the next statement, or the next quadrant. There is so happily call here, so this is going to go by a little quick. Actually, while we're waiting on that, we should probably okay, that's the blacklist. Take care of this before it becomes an issue. I don't think they'll attack the raw roboport. Do they attack radar? Yeah, actually, now I remember they attack radar. Anyways. Yep, yep. System has checked that there is ore. So we're gonna build the next system. Now, the reason why I did quadrants the reason why I did quadrants was because when one or two cells doing the whole cell, that's not a big deal for the logic system. Every cell in a exponentially growing system, checking the entirety of their cells, that gets to be a bit taxing. I don't see why you guys are. Oh, they'll leave the Roboport alone. Oh, because it doesn't generate pollution. Or attack them. So uranium, that's going to be a no. This time that will be a 1000, not 5000, due to the fact we can already, this is already been installed and everything. Oh, and then if we just head back up, because we now have coal in the system, as you can see, is being sorted out and not jamming up the system. And we're now checking this last bit. We're checking the whole field. Yeah, we're checking the whole field. Oh, no, my bad. We're still checking here. That was just a uranium check for this one. My bad. It, yeah. Now the other idea going on here with this whole belt system is ideally these factory assembly plants will be built every 10 cells apart. So we're not like belting this halfway across the literal factorial map. We're just belting like 10 cells out, which, you know, not a bad idea. And these will only spawn in next to ore patches. So the limit is 10, but but they'll typically be like right next to them. Now the other reason why the limit was set to 5K for a timer for a no is when building the mines, it could take the bots a long time to get over here before they can build it. So I had to increase their timer so it's somewhat reasonable. But at the same time, I had to have a timer so if there was nothing within X amount of time, then we know there shouldn't be anything there. Unless the delay time for the getting any structures built is just so absolutely long that it exceeds the timer, which shouldn't ever be the case. Now we're checking the whole field. So we got yes, so now we move on to the first expansion. Yay! So that took about 20 minutes. So when a cell has access to resources, it should take about 20 or ores. It should take about 20 minutes before it wants to expand again. If a cell does not have access to any resources, it will take about an hour, maybe an hour and a half to expand. Shaves off a little, no end. Don't worry. Rip, forest. And we are expanding. It's always kind of fun to see the factory expand by itself. So you can now receive, but there's a small hiccup. that why we haven't been working? Because we shave off our ability to receive our neighbor's signals. That's gotta be it. So, hmm. Yeah, the new cells will be able to, due to the fact that we're still pulling in existing. Oh man, this is really, I think that is my error. That will explain why the new cells don't generally eat. But if you were to munch out here, you still shouldn't, like, eat him. You already got going. You're going, you're just falling behind. You're not going to be successful due to your belt to some Rhinedale Lake. Oh, that's the nice thing about the new update. I can actually make it so I can place landfill or cliffside explosives. So I will be updating the factory to include those. So water won't be an issue. And actually that will help the factory a lot get supplies like water into the system. As you've seen, oil isn't as big of an issue so long as we can get the first couple barrels. So let me just pull out my trusted green pen and jot this down. So wait, does that mean... Oh no, you're still receiving the signals because you didn't touch this one. There's the Homeland Security system at work. Yeah, all of these came back because they shouldn't have all, only this one should have made artillery, and then this one should have. Weird. Yeah, you're even receiving that the cell next door has artillery. Well, I mean, I guess this isn't the worst factory breaking problem. Let's see if this continues. So it's going to take about 20 minutes. Well, I'm just going to hover here for 20 minutes and I'll be back. So this is what I mean, the system can't keep up. with enough reds. They take up 5 times as many resources, and they're twice as long to produce. Now, it will eventually pump out enough of them, but uh, let's see. I know you're a blue. You're pumping out signal W1? Oh, yeah. W. What? I thought I dealt with that glitch. Don't worry, I have my timer set so we're not going to miss the event. Yeah, running through my base is a bit hard due to the fact that it was never made for people to run through. So you're just going definitely into yourself. You're releasing signal green. And this belt wants a signal blue. Is it the same for this one? Oh no, it's the same if I check the top. Uh, East is green. W is blue. Just out of curiosity. Oh. We'll make that blue and you green. Do it like this, so that's now shoved in there. And actually, I could just go off to the cell. I just want to borrow your book. Book. Yep, I screwed that one up. You can have your book back. I know you'll fix your wall. My bad, I really have a bad memory at times. Ah. So many books to keep track of. So I just need to simply get these two signals down here swapped. So I'll make another note about that. And to fix the old cell not receiving squat, that's simple. All I have to do is right after the deletion. Yeah, right after deletion, then we just add back in. Yeah, we add back in what we had taken out. So now we have ores and all of that loveliness going in. Oh, goody, it is getting sorted in Yukon's view. We don't separate between copper and iron due to the fact that everything just goes back into the active provider chest, which then the bots get to move around. Ideally, because the smelter is right next to here, the bots don't have to go very far. And right now they seem to be just carrying it off to, of course. Dark, your one storage area for everything concept is still my bane in my side to this day. But it's alright. It's alright. Everything is prioritizing what they're supposed to be. You're going to expand. Delete your not quite there. And then we've detected more iron up here. System's going to come out true. How have we come? We have detected. We did detect uranium, and then we had built a pipe network for sulfuric acid. This is the other reason why we do force, because we don't want to pipe sulfuric acid to the whole field. If we can only do it in force, that'd be great. because that uses 1/4 the sulfuric acid needed. Why even pipe it to this wide of a field? Because we have no idea where these electric miners are going to be placed, and where the pinpoint location of said uranium is. We just know it's somewhere in the field. And these guys just get to operate as usual. Oh, you're building. What about you down here? You have nothing, so you probably... Okay, yeah, you're going through the wait command and then you're going to continue forward. Yeah, like I said, it had no access to ores, so it just skips the whole expansion script and just continues on. You... And if it does have ores, it waits. It will wait till the ore patches have been depleted before moving on. Which, when you're playing a map with highly rich fields of ores, that could take a while. But good news is, once it has depleted a field, it will pick up all the equipment in said field and then move on. So hopefully your equipment will just get reused indefinitely. Just because I want to see the system actually function. There we go. Okay. And then there's the iron, which then adds up with the other iron, which doesn't add up with this field. Oh wait, yes it does. It adds up with half of it. And pretty soon we're getting a almost full belt here. Which again, with all these resources flowing in, should be able to keep a minimum half of these furnaces in continuous motion, continuously smelting. We're already seeing it moving on to the third, and then we have one more. 4 of these are unlocked for all resources. And it's working just fine at the moment. Oh, are you expanding? Not yet. What else is everyone doing? Oh, you're expanding. That's... Oh, alarm clock. Sorry about that. So that one's expanding. That one's not doing anything. So... I got a moment before you're still not doing anything. And... What seems to be the issue here? You look like your entirety is there. I know you don't have, you're not receiving anything. And you've confirmed that you have all of your constant combinators. You're having issues with checking your gates. Well, you're the first in the series. And nothing. Well, I know the system can work, so I will have to come back over to you in a moment. This one's trying to expand. You poor bugs. Nah, not poor. I'm in the middle. Check, check, and what? Okay. Let's go check this out. Why are you not running? P equals 2. Currently P equals 1. Yeah. What's going on? You're just building pipes. This is weird. Auto save. Load autosave. Maybe is it just the save or the run that's currently screwing up? Because I know that works. It's worked in the past so far. Your P12, 11, 10. Let's see. We are hooked up to AP. If we are under 1, we are under 1. So we should just let P out. Huh. Give me that. You can be a memory cell. What's going on? So we know we're getting a P value. Thank you. So you're operating as is. Because the memory cell says you are. So, and then you're supposed to just let P's input through. But you're not. Uh-huh. So, wait. You're relying on... If I were to just disconnect, I know that's going to turn off another light. Okay. So that hotfix of mine caused another error. Go to notes. Okay. So let's see. The game's not too happy, and you're off. You deleted way more than you were supposed to. You deleted a full extra line. And this was, well, 22. or no, 21. And was this just for, yeah, it was just for the right side. Oh. Because then, did you also delete? Now I see what's going on. P, what was that? This is 22, so P21. If you're wondering what P stands for, that's this phase. P21, delete. Too much. And did you, is this just the sides or, yeah, just the sides, because top, bottom, they're still good, but your sides are gone. Too much on sides. Okay, me sitting here rather than walking away. Let me see the issue. So let's take a look. What did we get from this test? Expansion. While expanding, old cells cut themselves off from hearing or receiving signals, I should say, from other cells. So this cell, as it expanded, cut itself off from hearing from this new cell, and this new cell. While when this cell expanded, it cut itself off from ever hearing from this cell, and this cell. Yeah, you got the same issue. So that would mean we can't relay signals from here back, but we can relay a signal from here out. That will explain why I can still relay my factory signal outwards. P1. These two signals got swapped somehow. I just need to swap them back. Well, here this isn't the correct form. They got swapped here, and they should be like this. Okay, what else is there I've learned from this experiment or test? They remove expansion fix. So what I mean by that is I did a little fix here. So when I was trying to check for all of its content combinators, they would run it through this decider gate to see if to make sure it was there. It's clear that this is causing an issue with the checker, thus preventing it from running. So I just need to remove that, and it should work just fine. And finally, the last thing in this test that was killing the factory is 21. Delete too much from on the sides. What I mean by that is it deleted the first row, which on the top and bottom is fine because we still have the cell's original pipe and belt system intact. But on the sides, it deleted too much, not only deleting what the next cell should have had for its belt and pipe network, but it also deleted the other cell. So it goes a little too far on just one tile too far on either side, which is causing major issues because now it deleted the power plant relay over to it, to the new cell. So the new cell doesn't know that there's a power plant, or doesn't know that there's a cell over here. So then we'll delete this and expand into it. All the while, I have to go back and replace all these fast underground belts with yellow underground belts because of iron consumption. So yeah, I call this a successful test run. And yeah, this is my update on how well the factory is doing so far. If you've gone this far into the video, I am impressed, and have a good day.